Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. And we're live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the World 600, the longest race of the year. 600 miles here at Charlotte. So let's get started. On the pole is Bill Elliott in the 9 car. Starting in the outside pole in the 33 is Harry Gant. Starting third is Jeffrey Bodine. Fourth is D.W. Darrell Waltrip. Fifth is Earnhardt. Sixth is Richmond. Seventh is Yarborough. Eighth is Pearson. Ninth is Parsons. Benny Type. Morgan Shepherd starting 10th. Kyle Petty 11th. Schrader 12th. Bonnet 13th. Boys 14th. Rusty 15th. Bobby Allison 16th. Rudd 17th. Terry Labonte 18th. Sachs 19th. 20th is Marlin. Phil Parsons 21st. 22nd, Dave Marcus. 23rd is Ron Bouchard. 24th is Michael Waltrip. 25th is last week's winner, Lake Speed. 26th is Buddy Baker. 27th is Tommy Ellis. 28th is Joe Ruttman. 29th is the King, Richard Petty. 30th is Mike Alexander. 31st is Brooks. 32nd is Johnson. 33rd is Dick Trickle. 34th is Arrington. 35th is Dwyer. 36th is Pond. 37th is Mean. 38th is JD. And 39th is Jim Sauter. 40th is Mark Stahl. 41st, Bobby Hillen Jr. And in the rear with the gear, Eddie Bershaw. Well, let's get this race started, folks. 600 miles here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Bill Elliott's going to lead us to the green flag for turn number 1. And that's going to be a middle group. Alrighty, we're going to have a problem, and it's going to be TV in the middle. TV in the middle. First up is Rusty Wallace. And that's going to be a 5-4-1. Nobody's going nowhere with a 1. Cal Petty's up next. And we got Ken Castro in the house. And here's the Rick King, Kyle Petty, trying to get up there on a 4-2-6, and he's going to go from 11th up to 3rd, knocking Jeffrey Bowden out of the top 10. And Morgan Shepherd with a shot here. He's a TV driver. And a 1-6-6, and Morgan's going to go from 10th up to 7th, and knock Yarborough back to 10th. And we had the problem. And he's going to have poor Morgan Shepherd. Just got up to 7th, is going to blow up. And Morgan Shepherd's going to finish 42nd, folks. Just got up there. And he's going to have the problem. Ain't that a damn shame? So Shepherd blows up. Let's see if David can get back up here. Top group. And he does. David's in the 7th. Everybody else in the middle group will move up. See who's going to move up here in the bottom group. First up is going to be Sterling Marlin. Can he move on up? Nope. How about Phil Parsons? And Phil's going to move up. Down to 41 cars now here. 600-mile race. See how many cars will last 600 miles here today. And we'll look and see who's leading at the 500 mark. See who would have won the 500. And see if that's going to be the same winner as the 600. It normally isn't. So we're going to move on to turn number 2. And we got another middle group. This is control. First up is Phil Parsons. He's just moved up here. And we got a 3-1 not happening. And Terry Labonte's got 2 chances. He could actually get the lead here from Bill. But a 2-1's not going to happen. He's got a second chance to move up. And a 6-3 not happening. And how about Ricky Rudd? Can he get that Motorcraft Ford up front? And a 4-1-6. He takes over second. He goes from 16th up to second, knocking handsome Harry Gant back. And Bobby Allison in that Miller highlight. And that's a 3-5-1 ain't happening. And Rusty Wallace with 2 chances here. And a 5-6-2. And he's going to get David Pearson. He's going to go from 14th up to 7th. Now Rusty's got a shot at the lead here against Bill. And it'll take a 6 to beat Bill. And a 4-5. Couldn't quite get her done. And now Neil Bonnet in the Budweiser Chevy. And that's going to be a 2-3-2. And DW is going to hold off his teammate. And Jeffrey Bodine now. And that Levi Garrett number 5. And a 1-6-6-1. 6-1 ain't getting it done. And the last one's Cale Yarborough. 2 chances here. Can he get that Ford up front? And a 2-1-2. Ricky Rudd will hold him off. He's got another shot here, though. And that's going to be a 4-4-1. And that'll be it for turn number 2. And we got another middle group this time, Reflex. The middle group's been busy here. Phil Parsons with Reflex. And we drop the dice. And a 4. Not getting it done. Next up is Terry Labonte. He'll have 2 chances to move up. 1-2-3-1 ain't getting it done. He has another shot here. On a 4-3-3. And DW holds him off. And Mr. Harry Gant trying to get back up front just got knocked back. Not with a 6, he's not. Bobby Allison has got a shot here. And not with that blue 1. And Trevor Boys is up now. And Trevor with a 2-3-5. And he's going to get DW. Trevor Boys goes from 13th up to 4th, knocking DW out of the top 10. Neil Bonnet, his teammate, can he get up there? On a 3-2-3. And he's going to, nope, Kyle Petty holds him off. Nice job by Petty in that Ford. Here comes Kenny Schrader in his Red Baron Ford. That's going to be a 5, not getting it done. Jeffrey Bodine in that 5 car. Rick Hendricks, 4-1-5. And he's going to get Ricky Rudd and go from 10th up to 2nd. And that'll be it for turn number 3. On to turn number 4 we go. And we finally get a top group of TV in the top group. So it'll take a 5 or 6 to get Bill. First up is Rusty. And a 6-3 note, Tim Richmond in that old Milwaukee. What made Milwaukee famous has made a fool out of me, doesn't get it done. Here comes Earnhardt now. And a 5-3 nope. Kyle Petty's next. And a 4-2 no. And now Jeffrey Bodine. And a 6-4 no. We go to turn number 5. And a middle group of TV. And there's nobody in the middle group of TV. That's a turn. Go to turn number 6. And that's a middle group of control. Who's got control? Phil Parsons has got control. And a 3-5-3. And Tim Richmond holds him off. Now Terry Labonte with 2 chances. And a 1-6-5. He's going to move up to 7th. Knock Rusty back to 17th. Piedmont Airlines. Chevy now has a shot at the lead. And it'll take a 6 to get Bill, and he gets him. Terry Labonte goes from 17th up to the lead here, folks, on turn number 6. knocks Bill out of the lead here at Charlotte. Okay, who's up next? Handsome Harry Gant. Can he get up here? And a 1-3-2. And he gets Trevor Boyce. He goes from 16th up to 4th. Bobby Allison in the Miller car with a 1-3-3. And Handsome Harry holds him off. DW trying to get back up front here on a 2-2-5. And he'll get Cal Petty. He'll go from 13th up to 3rd. Gets that Budweiser Chevy back up front. Here comes his teammate Neil Bonnet. And a 6 ain't getting it done. 6 ain't getting it. Here's Ricky Rudd. And a 2-2-5. And he's going to go from 10th up to 3rd. Knocks DW back. And here comes Mr. Yarborough with 2 chances here, folks. And a 2-6-6. He's going to go from 9th up to 7th. And can Mr. Yarborough get the lead? Knocks Bill out of the top group. Coming after Terry. He'll need a 6 again. And a 3-2. Nope. And that's it for turn number 6. Our first pit stops of the race. Here on turn number 7. And it'll be the top group. 6 and 3 will switch. And grab some chips here. And first one up is Terry Labonte. He needs a 5 to get a chip. Doesn't get it. Jeffrey Bodine needs a 6. Doesn't get it. Ricky Rudd needs a 6. And doesn't get it. Yarborough needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Earnhardt needs a 5. He gets it. Nice job by Richard Childress and the crew. Tim Richmond needs a 4. Doesn't get it. And last but not least, Harry Gant needs a 6. And doesn't get it. So now, move Earnhardt up here to 2nd. Let's see if anybody can beat Terry Labonte out of the pits. And a 4-4. And Yarborough gets the lead. Carol Yarborough gets the lead. Nice job by that Hardee's crew to get him out in the front. Here on turn number 7. Nice to see Yarborough up front. I like the no-neck monster. We go to turn number 8 now. Let's see what happens here. You got Yarborough in the lead. Earnhardt 2nd. Bodine 3rd. Rudd 4th. Labonte 5th. Richmond 6th. Gant 7th. Benny 8th. Elliott 9th. And DW rounds out the top 10. And we got a top group of control. Let's see here. It'll take a 6 to get Yarborough. First up is Harry Gant. That's Gold Bandit. A 1-2. Nope. And Tim Richmond's got a shot at him in this 27 on Milwaukee. Wrong 6. Terry Labonte's got 2 chances at him. A 4 or 5. No, he needs a 6. And a 1-5. Nope. Ricky Rudd with a shot at him here. 1-4. No. Jeffrey Bodine. And a 3-5. And Earnhardt has a chance at him. And he's got a chip. He's not going to have to use the chip on a 4-6. Earnhardt gets the lead and keeps his chip here on turn number 8. On to turn number 9 we go. And we got a middle group of Reflex. Who's got Reflex? Mr. Petty. Cal Petty's got 2 chances here. Could get the lead maybe. And a 1-2-5. He's going to go from 19th up to 3rd. Now let's see if he can get the lead away from Earnhardt. Earnhardt's got a chip, so he's not going to get the lead. It'll take a 6 to beat him. And he beats him. Earnhardt's going to have to use his chip. Holds off Kyle Petty. That Ford is running, folks. Let's see now. You got Neil Bonnet trying to get himself back up there. And a 5-1-1 ain't going to get it. How about Trevor Boyce? Can he get himself back up front? He was up there earlier. And a 1-3-6, and he's going to get it. He's going to go from 16th back to 4th. Ricky Rudd drops out of the top 10. Here comes Bobby Allison, that leader of the Alabama gang. And a 5's not going to get it. He needed a 4. And Phil Parsons is up next in that Skull Bandit. And a 1-3-2. And he's going to get it from Mr. Nope, a 2's going to hold him off. Trevor's got reflex. Ken Schrader's up now. And a 4-3-4. And Kenny needed a 3. DW's got 2 chances. Could get the lead here from Earnhardt. And the 2-2-1's not getting it done. He's got another shot. And a 4-6-5. He will go up to 7th and knock Harry Gant back to 10th. And that's it for turn number 9. On to turn 10, 100 miles out of 600 in the books. And that's going to be our first bottom group of TV. We got a few TV drivers back here. Jimmy Salter's back here. On a 2-2-4. And he's going to get Mr. Gant. He's going to go from 38th up to 10th. Jimmy Sauter knocks handsome Harry Gant back. Now Lake Speed, our last race winner. In a 2-6-4. And he's going to go from 24th up to 18th. And last but not least is Sterling Marlin. Can he get out of the bottom group? And a 1-3-6. And he's going to go up to 13th. So these TV drivers are running well now, folks. All the TV drivers are now in the top or middle group. On to turn number 11 we go. And we got our first duel. That'll be the 2 cars in the middle. And they're going to stay put. Not going to chance it. On to turn number 12. And we got another duel. That'll be the 6 car. That's DW going after Cale Yarborough. And he's going to go after his old buddy Cale. Here we go. And DW's got us. Can't get past. DW's got a check here. It'll be an 8, not the wreck. And DW just wrecked himself trying to pass here, folks. And it's going to take a 8 to stay in this race. And DW does stay in the race. That'll bring out the caution flag. DW wrecks trying to get past Mr. Yarborough. Oh no, Neck Monster don't mess around, folks. So now everybody will move up. With the caution. Our first caution of the day, caused by Mr. DW. Now he's in the rear with the gear. It'll be 41st. But it's a long race. DW is good at these long races. He might just be playing cat and mouse here. Definitely didn't like wrecking. So here we go on to turn number 14. You got Earnhardt in the lead. He'll be leading us back to the green flag. Yarborough second. Petty Kyle type third. Boys fourth. Labonte fifth. Richmond sixth. Pearson seventh. Benny type. Elliott eighth. Sauter ninth. Kenny Schrader rounding out the top 10 as we come back to the green flag here on turn number 14. We got a top group of smart. Who's smart in this top group? Terry Labonte's double smart. Take a 5 or a 6 to beat Earnhardt. And a 5-2, nope, but he's got another shot at him. And a 2-1, nope. And Terry was the only smart driver in the group. We go to turn number 15 now. And it's a top group of problem. Who's got the problem? And it's poor Cale Yarborough. Cale Yarborough blows up here, folks. And the 28 Hardee's Ford is going to finish 41st. Damn. So that's it for Yarborough. See who moves up here to the top group as he blows an engine. See if Bill can get up here to the top group. And he does. So Bill's up to 7th. I'll see here. Can Mr. Marcus make it up here? Yes, he does. Marcus makes it up. Now we only got 40 cars in the race, folks. 2 cars are out of the race so far. Alrighty. We move on to turn number 16. And we got a top group of TV. So it'll take a 6 to beat Earnhardt. First one up, Tim Richmond. Let's see if Tim can get past Earnhardt. Not on a 3-3. And it's up to Cal Petty to put that Woods Brothers car up front in the wrong 6. So Earnhardt stays in the lead. And we go to our second pit stop of the race. And it'll be both groups. 6 and 2 will switch. So Bill gets up to 3rd. Trevor Boys will drop back to 7th. And then Pearson, Bill gets up to 10th. And Dave Marcus up to 11th. Grab some chips here. First up is Earnhardt. He needs a 5 to get a chip. Doesn't get it with boxcars. Petty needs a 7. Doesn't get it. Elliott needs a 9. And barely gets it. Nice job by that Melling crew. Labonte needs a 5. He gets it. Nice job by that 44 Piedmont Airlines crew. Tim Richmond needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Parsons Benny needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Boys needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Sauter needs it. The Snake Eyes doesn't get it. Ken Schrader needs a 3. And he doesn't get it. Pearson Field Type needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Marcus needs a 3. Doesn't get it. David Pearson needs a 5. David, nice job by that Chattahoochee Chew. 21 car gets a chip. Bobby Allison needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Ricky Rudd needs a 6. And he gets it. Nice job by that Bud Moore crew. Wallace needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Speed needs a 7. He gets it. Nice job. Trying to make their way up from 25th. Lake Speed. Jeffrey Bodine needs a 6. Doesn't get it. Sachs needs a 4. Doesn't get it. And last but not least is Sterling Marlin needs a 3. And he gets it. Nice job by that crew. Sterling Marlin. So let's move everybody up that got a chip. Got some thunder in the area. Just drove home from watching the movie Formula One, the movie. Drove through a storm. Alrighty, now let's see if anybody can beat Earnhardt out of the pits here. And a 4-4. And Tim Richmond takes the lead here on turn number 18. Sorry, turn number 17. Earnhardt one more lap would have got a chip. So Tim Richmond's in the lead now after the pit stops, followed by Elliott in second. Third, Labonte. Kyle Petty fourth. Earnhardt back to fifth. Benny is up to sixth. Boy seventh. David Pearson up to eighth. Ricky Rudd ninth. And Lake Speed rounds out the top 10. We go to turn number 18. We got a middle group of reflex. See what happens now with the reflex. First one up is Jeffrey Bodine trying to get back up to the top. And a 2-1-6. He's going to make Elliott burn his chip. Holds him off. And Bobby Allison's next. And a 3-5-5. And he's going to get sixth place away from Benny Parsons. So Bobby Allison gets that Miller highlight up in the top 10 first time today. And up now is Dave Marcus, 2 chances here. And a 4 is not getting it done. He needed a 3. And a 3-3-3, triple threes. He's got a problem. What kind of problems poor Dave Marcus have here? 56. He loses the engine. He's out of the race, and that's a yellow. And that'll end the turn, folks. So poor Dave Marcus. He's going to finish 40th with the engine problem. Dumps a bunch of oil on the track. Caution comes out. Got a caution. And let's see, everybody will just move up due to the caution. And who's moving up here? Ron Bouchard's moving up to the middle group. We'll have 39 cars in the race now, folks. We've lost 3 of them. Alrighty. And, that was a big thunder. We got Tim Richmond in the lead. Elliott second. Labonte third. Kyle Petty fourth. Earnhardt fifth. Allison sixth. Bowie seventh. Pearson eighth. Ninth is Rudd. And rounding out the top 10 is Lake Speed as Tim Richmond leads us back here to the green flag. Here on turn number 20. 200 miles in the books. A third of the way done. That's going to be a dual 5 cars. That's Bodine and Wallace. So Bodine's going to go first. And he's going to try to get Ken Schrader. Bodine needs a 4. He gets it. Puts Kenny Schrader in a bad spot. But he gets a chip. Next up is Rusty. And Rusty needs a 4. And he doesn't get it, so Rusty's in a bad spot. First is Ken Schrader. He needs a 7 not to wreck. And he doesn't, so he's wrecking. There's 1 car already wrecking. And now Rusty Wallace not wrecked. He needs a 5. And he gets it, so we'll have another caution for the wreck. Let's see if Mr. Schrader can repair the car. We're now in the middle third of the race. And it'll take what's old Kenny? Kenny is an E. It'll take a 5 to stay in the race. Nope, Ken Schrader's going to finish 39th after trying to get up to 12th. He wrecks. Oh, we Forgot to give old Jeffrey Bodine a chip. And like I say, Kenny going to finish 39th in that Junie Don Levy Ford. I like old Don Levy. He was a hell of a car owner. In that Ford. Now everybody will just move up. And we're down to 38 cars now in the race. And Michael Waltrip, little brother of DW, he moves up to 19th in that 23 car. Alrighty. We're going to be on turn 21 here. Sorry, turn 22 after the caution. Tim Richmond in the lead, Elliott second, Labonte third, Petty fourth, Earnhardt fifth, Allison sixth, seventh is Boysen, David the Silver Fox is eighth, Rudd ninth, and Lake Speed 10th as we go back to green flag racing here on turn number 22. And we got another duel. That'll be the 5 cars. And that'll be Greg Sachs. And they're not going to. They're only move up 1 position. Ain't worth taking a risk for 1 position. So they're going to stay put. And another duel. And this is the 6 cars. Same thing. They're not going to try it. In the middle group, we're on to turn 24. And we got a bottom group of TV. There's no TV drivers back there. On to turn 25. Normally in most races, this is the halfway point. We haven't even we're racing for 250 miles and ain't even at the halfway point, folks. And we got a middle group of TV and a problem. A lot of TV drivers in this middle group and a lot of chips. Let's see what happens here. Could be a big shakeup here on turn 25. And that's going to be a 6, and that's going to be a problem for Greg Sachs. See what kind of problem Mr. Sachs has, a 61. And that's going to be suspension problems. He is going to stay in the race, but he'll drop back to 38th. So Sachs has some problems with the suspension. He drops back. Next up is Rusty Wallace. Can he get out of the middle group here? And a 5, nope. But here comes the rest of them with chips. Jimmy Sauter trying to get out of 13th here and get up to the top group. And a 6. And Sauter's going to have to use his chip. And he's going to make Terry burn his. And he's going to stay put. Now Jeffrey Bodine with a shot to move up. And a 5. And he's going to have to burn his chip. He's going to move up to 5th, knock Earnhardt back to 12th. You know how these two just loved each other. Good job, Jeffrey Bodine, knocking Earnhardt out of the top 10. And now you got Sterling Marlin trying to get up here in the top 7. And Sterling is going to blow up trying, folks. Ain't that a damn shame? Sterling Marlin in the 95 tries to get up to the top, and he blows an engine. And he'll finish 38th. And now Lake Speed, he'll be the last one. Now, I thought we was going to have a big shakeup. Nobody's doing nothing. And that'll be a 4-4-3 for Speed. And Jeff Bodine holds him off, so Lake Speed's going to have to use his chip to get up there. So Jeff doesn't stay up in the top 5 long. He's still in the top 10. And we also have another problem. Who has the problem? That is the question. And Trevor Boys in the top group. He blows up the 49 of Boys. And that'll end his day. He'll finish 37th. Okay, let's see who's going to move up here to the top group first. Then we'll have 3 cars moving up to the middle group. First up is David Pearson. He's moving up to 7th in that 21 Chattanooga Chew. Now all these cars will move up, and we'll see what 3 cars move up from the bottom group. First one that has a shot is Mr. Neil Bonnet in that Junior Johnson Budweiser car, but he doesn't. Buddy Baker's next. He doesn't. Tommy Ellis. Ellis will move up. He'll move up to 17th. Next up is Joe Ruttman. He doesn't. How about the King? Can he get out of this bottom group? And he does. The King gets up to 18th. Next up is Mike Alexander. Nope. How about Dick Brooks? Nope. How about Slick? Nope. How about Dick Trickle? Yes, Dick Trickle does. And it's raining pretty good here in Hagerstown. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not. So we'll have 37 cars running after this. And we'll reset 36, sorry. 37's out. So we got 36 cars in the race. Tim Richmond's leading it. Elliott second. Bodine third. Kyle Petty fourth. Lake Speed fifth. Allison sixth. David Pearson seventh. Ricky Rudd eighth. Jeffrey Bodine ninth. And Earnhardt 10th. So we move to turn number 26. And we got a top group of Smart. Who's Smart up here? And Bobby Allison Smart. And it'll take a 4, 5, or 6 to get him. And a 2, 5. Bobby Allison gets the lead for the first time. Tim Richmond goes back to 6th. Now here on lap number 26. Who else is Smart? Terry Labonte's double Smart. Take a 5 or a 6 to get him. And a 1, 5. So Terry Labonte, Bobby Allison doesn't keep the lead very long. He moves up here for the second time today here on turn 26. And that's it for turn 26. We go to the pit stops here on turn 27. And we got a top group 2 and 3 switch. And let's see, grab a few chips here. First up will be Terry Labonte. Does he get a chip? And no, he doesn't. Can Bill get a chip here? And Bill gets a chip. Kyle Petty needs a 7 to get a chip. And he barely gets one. Nice job by the Woods Brothers 7-11 car. Bobby Allison doesn't get one. Lake Speed. Speed gets one. Nice job by these crews. How about Tim Richmond? Can he get a chip? Nope. Last but not least is David Pearson. No, but he's already got a chip. So now can anybody beat Mr. Labonte out of the pits? And a 5-3. And Bobby Allison gets the lead back. So Bobby's back up in front here on turn number 27. Nice job by that Miller High Life. Getting the lead back for him. And on to turn 28 we go. Getting close to the halfway point here. This 600-mile race. And that'll be a duel, an 8, 6 cars. And that's Trickle and Petty, and they're fine where they're at. And we go to turn number 29. And a top group of Smart again, and we got a problem. First, we'll do the Smart. Terry Labonte's double Smart. It'll take a 5 or a 6 to get Bobby, and a 6-3 Nope. And Terry was the only Smart one out of the bunch. Now, who's got the problem? That is the question, and I'm afraid to look because I think I know who it's going to be. It's going to be poor David Pearson. Yep, David Pearson's got the problem. And the 21 Chattanooga Chew up front all day, blows up. David's going to finish 36. He don't have no luck, folks. The Silver Fox is having no luck this year. So let's see who's going to move up to the top group. Where did this come from? That's probably Jeff Bodine's. Slid off there. Well, so let's see here. Ricky Rudd. And he gets a 3. He moves on up. And let's see if Neil Bonnet can get out of the rear with the gear. No. And he does. And now we're down to 35 cars in this race. Alrighty. We go on to turn number 30, 300 miles, halfway. Cross flags are out, folks. Here's turn number 30. And we got a top group of top group of Smart again. I think the only one that's Smart is Terry Labonte, if I remember right. How did Cal Petty get 2 damn chips? Where's all these chips coming from? Cal Petty don't have 2 chips, I can tell you that. So let's see who's Smart. Like I say, Terry Labonte's the only one that's Smart. He's got 2 chances at Bobby. Again, it'll take a 5 or a 6 to beat him. 5 or a 6. 6-1 no. And a 5-6. Terry needed a 4. Damn, and that was close. Wherever that lightning hit. And we're on to turn number 31. And that's going to be a bottom group problem in the bottom group. And who's got the problem? Sachs has the problem. What kind of problems does Mr. Greg Sachs have? 54. And that's going to be bumped from the side. He's got damage, and he's not going to be able to finish the race. So the 77 car of Sachs will finish 35th. And we go on to turn number 32 rather. Turn number 32. And we got a top group of skill. Who's got the skill? First up is Tim Richmond. And it'll take a 4, 5, or 6 to beat Bobby. And a 4-6. Tim Richmond gets that old Milwaukee back up front here on turn number 32. Who else has got skill? Lake Speed's got skill and a chip. Take a 5 or 6 not to use it, and he'll have to use his chip. Lake Speed gets up front here for the first time today. Last week's winners got the lead here. And Cal Petty's got 2 chances at him and a chip. And it'll take a 5 or a 6 to beat him without the chip. A 3-2 no. And a 4-3 no. But Cal Petty will use his chip. He'll put the Woods Brothers number 7 car up front. And that 711 Sunoco fuel car gets the lead here. And Bill Elliott, he's got skill and a chip. And it'll take a 6 to get Kyle without using the chip. And Bill uses chip. And Bill gets that Melling Ford back up front. The pole sitter is finally back up front halfway through this race. And we move on to turn 33. And we got a top group of Smart, 2 Smart back here. Is it still just Texas Terry Labonte? No. Ricky Rudd Smart with a chip. So Bill's going to, in order to beat Bill, you need a 5 or a 6. And he gets a 5-6, but he'll have to burn his chip because he only has 4 gas pedals. But Ricky Rudd gets that Bud Moore Thunderbird up front here on turn 33. And here comes Bobby Allison. He's smart. It'll take a 5 or a 6 to get him. 1-3, nope. Terry's got 2 chances at him. And 6-6, no. And a 5-2, no. And that's it for turn number 33. On to turn 34. Just started raining and thundering there too, Ken. Yeah, like I say, it's putting it down. And that last thunder was close, wherever that lightning hit. And we got a top group of Star. First time we've had Star. Bill's got 2 chances here. And it'll take a 5 or a 6 to get Ricky. And a 4-2, no. And a 5-1, no. Anybody else with Star Lake Speed? 2 chances at Ricky. And a 4-6. Lake Speed gets the lead back, folks. They're joshing around like this race is almost over. Here on turn number 34. And we move on to turn 35. And that's a top group of skill. Who's got the skill? Bill's got skill. It'll take a 5 or 6 to get Lake Speed. And a 2-4, no. Tim Richmond's got skill. And a 1-4, no. And last but not least, Cal Petty's got 2 chances at him. And a 4-4, no. And another 4-4, no. We move to turn 36. And that'll be a duel. That'll be a 3 car. And that'll be Tim Richmond going after Cal Petty. Tim's going to take a chance here. See if he can get past Kyle. And he does. Puts Cal Petty in a bad spot. Tim will get a chip. And it'll take a 8 for Petty not to wreck. Can Cal Petty keep it on the track here? And barely does. And we go to turn 37. We got another pit stop here, folks. And it's going to be the middle group 5 and 6 switch. Let's see if anybody in this middle group can get some chips. First up will be Jeffrey Bodine. He's already got 1 chip. He needs a 6 here. And he gets it. Nice job, Jeffrey Bodine, sitting there with 2 chips. Phil Parsons needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Pearson needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Earnhardt needs a 5. He doesn't get it. Sauter needs snake eyes. Doesn't get it. Wallace needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Ken Bouchard needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Waltrip needs snake eyes. Doesn't get it. Trickle needs snake eyes. Doesn't get it. Bonnet needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Ellis needs a 4. Doesn't get it. And last but not least, the King needs a 4. Doesn't get it. See if anybody can beat Mr. Speed out of the pits. And a 4-6 ain't going to happen. We go to turn number 38, folks. And we got a top group of control. Who's got control? Bobby Allison's got control. And it'll take a 4, 5, or a 6 to get Lake. And a 4-6, Bobby gets it done. Puts that 22 Guard car out front. Here on turn number 38. And Bill Elliott's coming after him. It'll take a 5 or a 6 to get Bobby. And a 5-6 gets it John. Bill Elliott gets the lead back here, folks. On lap 38. Turn 38, I should say. And Terry Labonte's got 2 chances of Bill to take a 6 to beat him. And a 1-1's not going to happen. And a 2-2's not going to happen. Ricky Rudd with a shot at him. And a 1-6, Ricky Rudd puts that number 15 car up front. A lot of movement up front here on turn 38. And Tim Richmond has a chip and control. It'll take a 5 or 6 not to use the chip. And he'll have to use the chip. Tim gets the lead here with that old Milwaukee Pontiac. And the 27 is up front. We go to turn number 39. That'll be a bottom group problem in the bottom group. And poor Eddie's got a problem. What kind of problems that he got? We haven't had, I think we've only had 2 bottom groups, and both of them has been problems. These guys can't get out of the rear with the gear. 62. That'll be a clutch problem, and Eddie's going to finish 34th. And we go to turn number 40, folks. 400 miles down, 200 more to go. And that's going to be a top group of Star. Who's got the Star? Lake Speed's got 2 chances at it, and it only takes a 4, 5, or a 6 to get him. And a 6-6, Lake can't get it done. Terry doesn't have it. Kyle doesn't. Bill Elliott's got 2 chances at him. Like I say, it only takes a 4, 5, or a 6. And a 5-3, no. But he's got one more shot at him. And a 6-6, he's holding on. Ricky Rudd, can he get the lead back here from Tim? Tim's doing a good job. A 2-1. How about that? Tim Richmond defending that lead. Keeps it here at turn 40. 200 miles to go, folks, at this World 600. And we got a rare problem in the top group. Here we go in the top group. A rare problem. That'll be a 56. Black flag for the driver in the top group. Okay, now we got to find out which driver got black flagged. And it is Terry Labonte got black flagged. And let's see what he got black flagged for. And he got black flag for drops parts on the track. And he'll drop back to 33rd. Let's see who moves up. He stays in the race, goes in the pits, removes that damaged part so they don't keep falling off. And Jeffrey Bodine's going to move up here to the top group with 2 chips. See who's going to move up to the middle group. Can Buddy Baker move up? And Baker moves up to 19th. We still got 33 cars in this race. It's like I say, Terry stays in the race with that black flag. They don't park him. And we move on to turn number 42. And we got another top group. This one's Star. And Jeffrey Bodine's got the Star and 2 chips. And it'll take a 4, 5, or 6 to beat him without using the chip. And he's going to need to burn one of them because he gets a 5-2. But Jeffrey Bodine gets the lead here. on turn number 42. Is that the first time Jeffrey's been in the lead today? I believe it is. Gets that Levi Garrett car up front. And who else has got a start? Lake Speed's got 2 chances at him. And it'll take a 5 or a 6 to beat Jeffrey. And a 3-4 doesn't get it done, but he's got another shot at him. And a 3-4 doesn't get it done again. And Bill Elliott's got 2 shots at him. And a 6-2 no. And a 2-6, but Jeffrey uses his chip and holds him off. We go to turn number 43. And we got a middle group. We got a trouble in the middle group. Our first trouble of the race, folks. Let's see who all is going to be collected in this mayhem. First up is Mr. Pearson. Phil Parsons, rather. Parsons needs a 5 to avoid the wreck. He does. Benny, his brother's right beside him. He needs a 5 also. And poor Benny's involved in the wreck. So there's one car involved. Earnhardt needs a 6. And he doesn't. Earnhardt, it figures Earnhardt probably did something there to wreck Benny. He's involved in the wreck. Sauter needs a 5. He gets it. He stays in the race. Rusty needs a 5. He's staying put. He gets it. Ron needs a 5. He's involved in the wreck. So that'll be 2 cautions. 2 caution turns. Waltrip needs a 5. Michael. And we're back. Sorry about that. Darn storm. I think we lost the feed there for a little bit. Hopefully we're back. If anybody can tell me if we're back here. I think we had a black screen for a while. We had a big wreck here. So far you got Benny Parsons, Dale Earnhardt, and Ron Bouchard in the wreck. Like I say, if anybody's still watching, let me know if everything's back. I think we had a black screen there for a few minutes. And next up is Trickle. He needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Trickle's involved in the wreck. Neil Bonnet needs a 8 to stay in the race. Well, not to be in the wreck. He's good. He makes it through. And Tommy Ellis needs a 5. And he makes it through. Good driving back here. And the King needs a 5 not to wreck. And he's fine. So we're not going to have the big one. We're not going to the bottom group. And Buddy Baker needs a 5. And he makes it through. So these guys will just move up. And we'll see who can fix their cars. Okay, we are in the bottom third. So Trickle is going to need a 3 to stay in the race. And doesn't. So Dick Trickle is going to finish 33rd. Ron Bouchard, he's going to need a 3 to stay in the race. And he doesn't. So Ron's going to finish 32nd. And Earnhardt's going to need a 3 to stay in the race. And he gets it. So Earnhardt's going to stay in the race. And Benny's going to need a 3 to stay in the race. And he doesn't. So only Earnhardt gets the car fixed. That figures. That's a typical freaking Earnhardt move. Causes a big wreck and he stays in the race. Hopefully the Benny Parsons and the gang meets up with him after the race. Then he's probably going to join us up here in the booth. So that'll be 2 caution flags. And we're on to turn number 46, folks. And that'll be a... Let's redo this before we get to that. We got the caution, and Jeffrey Bodine's got the lead here after that wreck. Rudd second, Elliott's third, Kyle Petty's fourth, Allison fifth, Speed is sixth, Richmond seventh, Phil Parsons eighth, Sauter is ninth. Nice job by Jimmy Sauter. Rounding out the top 10 is Rusty Wallace. And Jeffrey Bodine will bring us back here to the green flag. And it's going to be a top group of TV and a problem. So first up, we'll do the TV. Take a 5 or 6 to get Jeffrey. And a 2-2 ain't getting it done. Leg Speed with the shot here. And a 3-1. And last but not least, Cal Petty. And a 1-1. And now we got the problem. And who's got the problem? Poor J.D. McDuffie. J.D.'s going to finish in the 30th spot in that 70 car. JD blows up. And we're down to 29 cars now. 13 cars out of the race. And we go to pit stop. Well, here on turn 47. We got a top group. And Tim Richmond, Dick Brooks, and Slick Johnson are all penalized for pit road violations. So everybody will just move up. Pit road violations. In 1985, you must have really screwed the pooch to get a pit road violation back in. There was no speeding on pit road limit or nothing like that. So they'll go to the rear with the gear. Alrighty. Now let's see if anybody in this top group can get a chip as we just dropped the chip. Where did it go? Where did it go? I know I dropped it. There it is. Okay. First up is Jeffrey Bodine. Can he get a chip? No. Ricky Rudd needs a 6. No. Elliott needs a 9. He gets it easily with Snake Eyes. Petty needs a 7. He gets it. Allison needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Speed needs a 7. Doesn't get it. And last is Phil needs a 3. Doesn't get it. So 2 crews come through. Now let's, see if anybody can beat Jeffrey out of the pits. And a 2-4. Kyle Petty beats him out of the pits. Nice job by the Woods brothers to give, the lead here. Turn number 47. We go to turn number 48 here. Getting close to that 500-mile mark. And we got a duel. The 6 cars back here. No pond and them's not doing nothing. Turn number 49. That's going to be a top group of Reflex. And the top group. And it'll take a 6 to beat Mr. Petty. First up is Phil Parsons. And a 5-1 no. And Lake Speed's got 2 chances at him. And a 5-4-5. I said it took a 6, right? Yep, it took a 6. So no, but he's got another shot at him. 1-4 no. Bobby Allison with a shot at him. And a 1-3 no. Ricky Rudd with a shot. And a 5-3 no. Jeffrey Bodine. And a 1-2. And Bill doesn't have reflex. And here we go. Turn 50, folks. 500 miles in the books. Let's see here. Will the guy leading at 500 be the winner at 600? That's the question. If this was the World 500, this would be the last turn, but it's not. We still got 100 miles to go, and we got a bottom group of skill. Who's got skill back here? Tim Richmond's got skill, trying to get out of the rear with the gear. And a 3-3-5. And he gets the king. Goes from 27th up to 13th. Earnhardt's back here after causing that wreck. He's got skill. Can he get out of the bottom group? And a 2-1-6. And he's going to get up to 8th. Earnhardt goes from 26 up to 8th. And Bobby Hillin Jr.'s got skill. And a 6 ain't getting it done. And that's the last driver back there with skill. So after 500 miles, Kyle Petty is leading this race. Bill Elliott is second. Bodine is third. Rudd fourth. Allison fifth. Phil Parsons seventh. Earnhardt eighth. Rusty ninth. And Walter rounds out the top 10 here on turn 50. Let's see if Mr. Petty can hold on for another 100 miles. Like I say, if this is the World 500, Kyle would have won it, but it's 100 miles more to go. Here we go, turn 51. We got a top group of reflex again. First up is Phil Parsons. Again, it'll take a 6 to beat Kyle. And a 1-2 no. Leg speed with 2 chances. And a 1-3 doesn't get her done. And a 6-2 doesn't get it done. Bobby Allison in that 22 die guard. A 1-1 no. Ricky Rudd in the Budmore Ford Thunderbird. A 2-1. Jeffrey Bodine, the last one here. And a 2-4. He's holding them off. Turn number 52. And we got a bottom group of control. Who's got control? Dick Brooks has got control back here. And not with the 6. As a matter of fact, that's going to have Dick blow up. Dick Brooks is going to finish 29th here, folks, in the number 1 car. Slick will just move up. And Terry Labonte is back here after that wreck. He's got 2 chances. He could get back up to the top group here. And a 6-1-1. Ain't getting it done, but he's got another shot here. And a 1-2-2. And Neil Bonnet holds him off. Here comes Neil's teammate. DW's been back here in the back for a while. You know how DW is. He's like the Silver Fox. If he can get out of this bottom group, he's got a shot at it. And a 1-2-6. And he's going to take his teammate and go from 24th up to 11th. Junior, I don't know if he's happy about that or not. One teammate to another. So they just flip-flop there. And Mr. Mark Stahl. We haven't talked about Mark today. And a 3. Not going to get her done. And last but not least, a handsome one, Harry Ganton. That's Gold Bandit with a 5-4-6. And he's going to go from 21st up to 17th. And we're moving on to turn number 53. And we got a top group of control. Who's got control in this top group? First up is Phil Parsons. And it'll take a 4, 5, or a 6 to get Kyle. And a 5-4 doesn't get it done. Bobby Allison with a shot here. And a 2-3 doesn't get it done. Ricky Rudd. And a 4-4. That's going to get it done, but Cal's going to use his chip to hold him off. Jeffrey Bodine now with a shot at him. And a 6-1. And here comes Mr. Bill Elliott with a chip in control. Like I say, he needs a 4, 5, or a 6 to get him without using his chip. And a 5-6. Bill takes the lead here on turn number 53. And we go to turn number 54 with Elliott in the lead. Petty second. Jeffrey Bodine third. Rudd fourth. Allison fifth. Speed sixth. Phil Parsons seventh. Earnhardt eighth. Rusty ninth. And little brother Mikey Waltrip is 10th. Here we go, turn number 54. We got a middle group of heat. That's the first time we've had heat today. Let's see who's got heat. Absolutely nobody's got heat in the middle group. How about that? So that's it for turn number 54. On to turn number 55. 50 miles to go. That'll be a middle group of smart. Anybody smart back here? And Harry Gant's got double smart. Could get the lead here. On a 1-5-3. And he goes from 17th up to 6th. Knocks Lake Speed back to 17th. Let's see if he can get the lead from Bill. And it'll take a 5 or a 6 to get the lead from Bill. And a 3-6, but Bill uses chip to hold him off. See anybody else is smart back here. And DW is double smart. DW could get the lead here, folks. Like I say, a 4-1-2. And Kyle Petty will hold him off. Gets another shot, though. And a 5-3-2. And Ricky holds him off. And that'll be it. We go to turn number 56. Here we are on turn 56. And we got a middle group of smart. Again, see if how many of them smart back here now that we move some of them up. And it looks like the first one's going to be DW. DW with 2 chances here. He's the only one that's smart back here. Yep. Just make sure I didn't screw the up. DW is the only one. He's got 2 chances. Again, he could get the lead here. And a 5-6-2. And he's going to get 7th away from Mr. Phil Parsons. DW's been in the back of the pack all race long, folks. Now he's got a shot at the lead with 50 miles to go. And a 4-3. Bill holds him off. And we go to the money stop, the last pit stop of the race, folks, here on turn 57. And it's going to be both groups 1 and 6 switch position. Earnhardt is now up to 2nd. Crazy, man. I mean, Earnhardt Waltrip's up to 2nd. Was back in the 40s, folks. We remember he was 41st in this race at one time after wrecking. Alrighty. Now let's grab some chips. The money stop. Let's see how many of these crews can come through. Grab some chips here. Grab a few more. Alrighty. First up is Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Can Ernie and the Melling crew get him a chip here? He needs a 9, and he barely gets it. So Bill's got a chip. DW needs a 6, and he gets a chip. Jeffrey Bodine needs a 6. He doesn't get it. Rudd needs a 6. He gets it. Allison needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Gant needs a 6. He gets it. Man, they're coming through. The Woods brothers and Kyle Petty needs a 7. Doesn't get it. Dwyer needs snake eyes. Doesn't get it. Lenny needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Michael needs snake eyes. Doesn't get it. Parsons needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Ellis needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Tim needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Baker needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Rudman needs a 4. Joe doesn't get it. Alexander needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Speed needs a 7. Doesn't get it. Earnhardt needs a 5. Doesn't get it. And last but not least, Rusty needs a 4. And doesn't get it. But the top group had some, that's for sure. 4 drivers in the top group. Their crews came through for them. Let's see if Bill can keep the lead here out of the pits. And a 2-1. And DW is going to get the lead. Neither one of them is going to burn their chips yet. So Bill got the lead on turn 53. On turn 57, Junior Johnson and the crew gets DW out in front. I tell you, he is some slick, ain't he, folks? 600 miles, this suits DW. So we got 30 miles to go. DW is in the lead with a chip. Here we go. That's going to be a top group of smart. Who is smart in this top group? Anybody smart? Let's see here. Bobby Allison smart. It'll take a 6 to beat DW, though. So here we go. And a 3-1 ain't getting it done. But Harry Gant's smart. He's double smart and got 2 chips. Like I say, it'll take a 6 to beat him. And a 3-4, he'll use his chip and make DW use his. And now, like I say, it'll take a 6 to beat him. And a 2-5, nope. And Ricky Rudd, smart and got a chip. Takes a 6 to beat him. And nope, he'll have to burn his chip. So Ricky gets the lead here on turn 58. Puts that Bud Moore car up front. We got 20 miles to go. 2 turns to go, folks. 2 turns to go. Here we go. And that's going to be a bottom group of heat. Heat in the bottom group. The King trying to get out of this bottom group. And a 5. Ain't getting it done. Jimmy Sauter. He's got a shot to get out of this bottom group. And a 2-4-6. How about this? And he's going to go from 26 up to 14th. Nice job by Jimmy Sauter. And Bobby Helen Jr.'s got heat. And a 6 ain't getting it done. And last one with heat's Buddy Arrington in that 67 car. And a 5's not getting it done. And now we're on the last turn, folks. 600 miles. White flag is out. Ricky Rudd's leading. Elliott's second with a chip. DW's third. Gant's fourth. Bodine fifth. Allison sixth. Kyle Petty seventh. How about Clark Dwyer being in the top 10 along with Pond and Waltrip? And here we go. Turn number 60. And we got a middle group. So it looks like Rudd's going to win this race. But who knows? We got a star in the middle group. Star in the middle group. And Lake Speed's got 2 chances. He could get the lead here. And a 4-4-1. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And Bill holds him off. So Lake's not going to get the lead. And a 2-3-2. And Harry holds him off. And who else has star? Mike Alexander's got star. Can he make it up through here? Not with a 4, he can't. How about Joe Ruttman in that 4 car? And he's got a problem. He's got a big problem, folks. and he blows up. Joe Ruttman trying to get up front is going to finish 28th. That's a damn shame. And here comes Jimmy Sauter. Can he get up to the top? Not with a 5. And Michael Waltrip's got 2. Michael Waltrip could win this race, folks. Here we go. And a 163. And he's going to get 7th away from Cal Petty. Knock Cal Petty back to 10th. And Michael Waltrip could win this race. He needs a 5 or a 6. He needs a 2 on the red dice, a 6, 5 or a 6 on the blue. And a 5-5 doesn't get it done. Damn, that would have been awesome. That would have. But hey, Lenny Pond's got 2 chances. Can Lenny get the lead? Not with a 3-3-2. Got another shot, but a 2-6-5. And he gets 7th. Knocks Michael back to 9th. And the last one's Dwyer. And he doesn't have a double. So Ricky Rudd's going to win this race, folks. And that's going to be a 3, and that's your race. That's your race. And just like we said, where did Kyle Petty finish 10th? He would have won the World 500, but he finishes 10th. 10th in the World 600. Your winner in the Bud Moore Motorcraft Ford is Ricky Rudd. Ricky Rudd is your winner, folks. Well, I wanted focus. There we go. Maybe if I get my fingers out of the damn way. There we go. Ricky Rudd in the 15 Bud Moore wins this race. How about that? Ricky Rudd, your winner. And Awesome Bill from Dawsonville finishes 2nd. And DW was back in the bottom group all race long until around turn 55 and finishes 3rd. How about that from DW? Nice job by DW. And Handsome Harry Gant finishes 4th. Jeffrey Bodine in the 5 car finishes 5th. And Bobby Allison in that 22 Die-Guard Miller Highlight, he finishes 6th. And how about Lenny Pond finishing in the top 10 in that 17 car? And Mr. Clark Dwyer in the 64 finishing in the top 10 as well. Good for them. Good for these guys. And little Mikey Waltrip in the 23 car finishes 9th. And rounding out the top 10, like I say, Kyle Petty, who on turn 50, 500 miles into this race, would have been your winner, but finishes 10th in the World 600. And rounding out the top, we got to move these guys up. I forgot. That way we don't mess this up. Forgot about that. Forgot about poor Joe Ruttman. So, and finishing 11th, Phil Parsons in that Skull Bandit, 66. And Tommy Ellis in that 18 car finishes 12th. Nice job for Tommy. Get a top 20 finish. Tim Richmond's got to be disappointed, folks. Tim Richmond was up front almost all day, not to finish in the top 10. How about Mike Alexander in that 84 car? Mike's going to finish 14th. And Jimmy Sauter finishing in the top 10. How about that? Oh, Jimmy finishes 15th. And finishing 16th is a disappointed Lake Speed. He'll finish 16th. And Earnhardt, who caused a big wreck, finishes 17th in that 3 car. Benny Parsons and those fellers ain't happy with him. Finishing 18th is his buddy Rusty Wallace. And finishing 19th in the 52 car is Jimmy Smut Means. And finishing 20th in the 67 is Buddy Arrington. Mark Stahl finished 21st in the 82. And finishing 22nd is Bobby Hillin Jr. in that Snickers number 8 car. And Neil Bonnet and that Budweiser number 12 of Junior Johnson finishes 23rd. Poor Neil. And how about Texas Terry Labonte? Disappointing day, finishing 24th. Buddy Baker in that 88 car finishes 25th. And the King will finish 26th. And the last car is still on the track. Old Slick Johnson in the 5 car. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed the longest race of the year here, the World 600 from Charlotte Motor Speedway. I want to thank Ken Castro for joining us. If you're new to the channel, folks, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, smash that like button. It helps the channel out, and none of that costs you a dime. Until next time, you all have a great day and take care. Well, let's see what the next race is going to be. Next race. I don't know why it's doing that. But the next race is going to be the Budweiser 400 from Riverside, California. We're going to be on the road course out in Riverside, folks. All righty. Until next time, like I said, y'all have a great day and take care.